The purpose of the Mastermind is to learn leadership, build teams, and create multiple sources of income together.
We are here to inspire and challenge each other to reach and exceed goals.
Each member is committed to their own success as well as the success of every member of the group.
We are committed to meeting in person or virtually for 1 hour every single week.
We are present. There is no multitasking or distractions during meetings.
We are collaborative. We listen without interrupting, lecturing, or judging.
We celebrate each other's successes without jealousy.
We are honest and participate by giving thoughtful feedback.
We are open and listen to different perspectives without being defensive or offering excuses.
We trust fellow members enough to share fully.
We are focused, but we also think it's important to have fun during meetings.
We are real and authentic. This is a no BS zone.
We allow ourselves to become completely aligned with each other and the high forces, one mind, one soul, and one love.
Noble Coleman International is a conscious, aware, and engaged, pictures are in the way, global community of abundance and freedom creators.
Our mission is to create 1 million millionaires who are free from time for money paradigm. We focus on creating multiple streams of income through masterminding, team building, and the effort, something I think I've missed a word, the utilisation of the internet-based platforms.
The mastermind becomes an opportunity for self-mastery, where the self-transcendent shift from the me to the we to the us occurs. As congruence and engagement increases, the world's consciousness is then raised one meaningful and inspired relationship at a time. Beautiful. So, okay, cool. Recording's still going. So, how are we feeling? Let's have a check-in with each other. So we'll keep with the numbers. Ricky, how are you feeling? What's been your win and your lesson we'll go with?
Truthfully, pretty knackered, to be honest. And that's probably because my head's as busy as it always is, plus with various things going on, plus yeah, I guess with the treatment I'm having just now, I didn't like these things to kind of fester away, but the reality is radiation every day apparently does take its toll, you know. So, but I'm kind of doing it and I'm very positive about it, and I'm trying to do all these other things, and the gym started back, so I'm going to the gym and doing exercise, which is really important because you got to keep your bones strong and all the rest of it, because unfortunately radiation buggers your bones up eventually, apparently. So you're trying to spin all the plates and it's just impossible. And then of course we've got Zoom calls for this and Zoom calls for that, and you want to listen to this and learn that, and you want to be on them all, but it's just not possible. And I was speaking to Joanne Callaghan last night, because that's Joanne in Ireland, about her book, you know, her sleep book. And I'm going to order, I haven't ordered it yet, but I'm going to order it. And when you order it, you get the audio version for free until such time as you could ship it over. But, you know, a lot of things we need to do, like switching off phones at an earlier time and keeping the phones at the bedroom, things that we all know, but we just don't do, because, you know, we're like that until you fall over, and then the phone falls at your side, and then first thing you do when you get up, you pick up again and check the weather, check the time, check the alarm, check your that's just one thing, you know. But there's a whole ream of things that we should probably be checking on a tick box to make sure that, I guess, the sleep you are getting is, one, enough, and two, and probably more importantly, sufficient quantity. And I guess, Martin, it's just all about trying to find all that balance again, you know. And just when you think you're getting there, you kind of blow up again, and you're back to square one. So, yeah, that's me.
Martina, you think you were number 2?
Yeah, I was sort of the same, Ricky, this week. I realised that, I was sort of juggling a lot, especially with Alan going back to work. And I sort of picked up the bits and pieces that he was doing. And this week I've actually taken a step back from a number of calls. I think this is my first call this week. Purely because the kids needed me and I needed to be mum this week. So that's the hat I wore this week. And, sometimes I have to allow myself to step back and be mum. And do you know what? I don't feel like I'll lose out because I can always catch up next week. But this week I had to prioritise the kids and I'm glad that I did.
Yeah, great share. Kirsty?
Yeah, I guess in many ways, I guess I'm feeling quite overwhelmed in ways, in the sense that I think I've taken on a little bit too much in a way. But like with the Freedom Era, paying my annual membership for that, and a few other things, bits and pieces that I'm involved with. Plus, I enrolled in one of the Dolphin courses because I just love that stuff. That information is just so good. It's good food for your soul. And the Mastermind course and that. And I love every minute of it. But, I realise I haven't even done the foundation units. I haven't done the 90-day challenge. I haven't attended the moderator training. I got to go back and find out what I'm supposed to be bloody learning and do it in a progressive tick and flick order. Do this. I see people who have come on long after me, and they've registered people and they're doing stuff. And sometimes I feel like an old committed incompetent, if I can be honest with you. And sometimes I used to be really fast at picking things up, but I noticed that I'm not quite as fast anymore, and I might ask the same question a couple of times and I feel a bit silly. But you know what? It really doesn't matter at the bloody end of the day because I'm doing what I enjoy. And bugger the Freedom Era, I'm not that fussed about it anyway. If I sell at a Kangen machine, that's fine, that's great. I'm over the all the bullshit that goes on with it all. I love this Noble Goldman stuff, I really do. And like I said, John, today, like I might be learning at the moment, but it's not going to be that hard if I apply myself. I've been through much bigger things than this and learned that, I've just got to get a grasp of the basics, like what Marcus was talking about today, and just get the feel of it and just start doing it bit by bit, and it'll all come together. And what an opportunity. What an opportunity this will present, and it's going to be simple once I get the complicated bit over. That's me.
Yeah, great shares. I can resonate on so many levels. This week caught up with me. I had a message from Carolyn. Some of you know Carolyn Forster. She messaged me today and said, "I just saw you both you and Beth on the call, and you just look exhausted. You need to take some time out and recharge." And I think we often forget, and I'll speak on behalf of Beth and myself. We often forget just how much we create and how much we work, and we have long hours and we're just sat there in front of the screen. And Beth's quite happy with that, but that's not really me. I love it because of the creation side, and I've got a very strong creativity within me, and I feel it fuels it. But sitting in front of the screen, I'm a social person, so I love this aspect. Yeah, it's great to be in the physical environment, but it's been really interesting as well because first of all, I'll publicly say, look, I'm very sorry to Ricky. I think there's been quite a few things that have been building up over the course of this week, and I responded to a message from Ricky that was very abrupt, and because it was tight, it was received not the way that I intended, but also it was based on me just reacting to carry on doing what I was doing, thinking that this is more important than taking a moment to just step out of that and then have a communicate it authentically. So, you know, and Ricky and I sorted it all out. There was nothing in it. It was just like when you hear what Ricky said before, there's a lot going on and radiation. I think we often get caught up in that. And I had a very challenging decision to make. I've had two challenging decisions to make this week. And one was that Lloyd reached out to me and asked if I'd take control of some of the calls for Noble Goldman to help Mark Santos, which I was totally honoured about. And I was like, yeah, cool, that's okay. And I'll go and find the times and see how it'll work. And then I just took a step back and I processed it all day long. And I just went to myself, I can't do it. If I take that on, it's just too much again. And it was hard for me to say no. It was really hard for me to say no, because I was like, well, if I don't do it and nobody else does it, it means Mark's got to do it, which means the progression of Noble Goldman is slowed down, and that's going to affect everybody. But then I was like, well, am I putting everybody else before me now? So, and I did that, and then I just had a conversation with a guy who reached out to me. I used to be in his networking group a couple of years ago, and he reached out to me and said, look, there's been a few people asking if you'd be the circle leader for the group. And I said, well, I'm thinking about getting back into networking. And it's been great while COVID's been happening and we haven't been able to get together. And because my business is very much going online with traveling around Australia for potentially the next few years at the end of the year, there's no point in the physical connection and relationships, because out of sight, you're out of mind. People forget about you. And I'm like, my business is online now, and that's where my people are. So I had to have a call with him today and just say, look, I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and it's just not going to work now. You're going back to face for me. It's not where I want to be. I don't want to be driving to meetings and talking about the water systems. I want to be building, to be fair, Noble Goldman. I want to be building the masterminds and the connections and being around all of these like-minded people, not just respectfully, people who are rocking up just trying to sell the products and services in that small window of together whilst they're eating the breakfast. Like, it's not where I want to be. So, and he was totally respectful of that. But they were like two big things for me to step up and take ownership. And it's been the lesson's been to just be true to self, really, just be true to what I need and fueling myself. And then, obviously the universe is rewarding me by nobody coming on the other call, giving me this space. So yeah, it's been a very, very powerful week since we had the last call last week. And I applaud each of you for acknowledging that as well. Especially yourself, Ricky, with what you're going through with your health. Your side, Martina, with from a mother's angle, having that connection with your children as well. And I kind of feel, Kirsty, that you're like me. You go all in when something really aligns. And that's not saying it's not the same for Ricky and Martina, but as you were speaking, what was coming up for me was, all I could see was this. Ignore this bit. Obviously, I was doing something around in Magic. All that I could see was, this is the brain. And when we've got one thing to think about, it just all comes in, and then we process it. And when I say one thing, I'm on about like one business or one thing like that. But the problem is that with, as you said, Freedom Era, Enagic, Noble Goldman, the renovation of the barn, all of a sudden it's split up like a bloody pizza. And all Noble Goldman can only fit into this bit, and then Freedom Era in this bit, and the barn in this bit, and whatever it is in this bit, and then all of a sudden it's like, it's too much. And that's all I could see as you were speaking. And literally, that's what I was seeing. I was just seeing like the brain just being divided in little pockets, and all this information's coming in, and it's got nowhere to go, because normally it'd have all this area. And I think that we're all going through that, but and then at the same time, though, what we're doing aligns with us, and it's just the fact that awareness of going, okay, well, Noble Goldman, for instance, aligns with me, but do I really need to be on as many calls as I'm on? Like, realistically, it's that thing of FOMO. What am I going to miss if I don't get on this call? There's always I always learn something. Do you know what? There's always going to be something, even when we come in. I mean, people say every single person who started Noble Goldman tomorrow has missed out on all this previous value, but they're still going to get value from tomorrow onwards. We never miss. We always get what we need. And I just think that if we just took that pressure off, it would, off ourselves. If we just say, well, you know what, I can only make one call a week, or I can only make these calls. And I think that as well, like, with all due respect, I love Declan, I love his calls. And I said this to Ricky, when the expectation was to be going in Delphin World, I was like, mate, I've got no room for anything else. And if that means I have to step out of Declan's mastermind, that's so be it. But I am not putting anything else on myself, because I'm not even doing what I want to do right now, and that I'm supposed to be doing. So, and I think that is the biggest thing. And I had a chat with Declan around, and he's like, mate, there's no pressure from me. You do what is right for you. And I think when we step up and we show that authentic side, people hold that space and go, at the end of the day, if you're doing what you believe is right, I'm just encouraging you on this path because I believe it is of value. Is there anything else coming up for anybody as we're sharing here?
I just, you know, I'm forever grateful that I found Noble Goldman. It came at a stage in my life when I really needed it. I need it more than I need an adjunct. And, you know, I look at Ricky, you know, doing his push-ups on the bloody beach, and I think, bloody hell, that man, you're unbelievable, Ricky. You really are. You're supposed to be going through bloody treatment that others whinge and cry about, and here you are doing bloody push-ups and bringing, you know, sending me text messages and supporting me, you know. And I really appreciate that, but I think you're bloody amazing. Martin, I see you sometimes, yeah, and I do see that you're tired. And what you do is just absolutely mind-blowing, you know, the skills that you've got, you know, it's just absolutely mind-blowing. And I look at, you know, like when I do get a little bit overwhelmed and I think, hey, I'm doing this by choice. I'm doing what I want to do. I don't have to do anything, you know, at my age type of thing. I don't have to do anything, but this is what I want to do. And I really, really, really want to learn how to do this Noble Goldman stuff. And it might take me a bit longer than everybody else, but it might not. It might, I don't know. But at the end of the day, this is what I love, you know. And yeah, I belong here.
I'd like to come back to you on that, Kirsty. In terms of Noble Goldman, there is so much, there's so many pieces of it, you know. And it's like, you could say it's like going into the university and you're on a 5-year degree course, but really it's not. It's more than that, I suppose. It's kind of a lifetime program, if you want to call it that. And coming back to what you said right at the beginning about the 90 days, you know, the 90-day accountability thing, the flight log, that's a big commitment in itself, just that piece of it, right? Because if you're going into that part, and I've tried it and I'm trying it again, and there's lots of bits to that 90-day log thing, if you like, the accountability, you've really got to be all over it. You've got to be ready to do daily meditation, affirmation, visualization, positive priming if you're into that, gratitude, you know, the whole self-love thing, healthy eating, a wee bit of exercise, getting good sleep, and that's just the mindset side of things, yeah. And then on the other side, you've got the there's a start of the sheet today, right? I've just coloured it in just to make it look a bit fancier, but then you've got the other side, which is the development side, which is placing a couple of bits of content. And I laughed because last night when Martin was on doing one of his calls, I can't remember which part. Oh, there was a water call, Martin, yeah. And I'm posting all these, well, the same post as I'd found. I thought, bugger it, And I had all the different Facebook pages in front of me, and I'm going, right, what's that one? Click, post, click, post, click, post. And every time I did it, Martin, something was coming up from their watercall, and I thought, how is this happening? I have no idea. But I thought, and I've never done these daily posts to that extent, but that was just another wee step in the right direction. But there's so many bits to that you have got, especially when you're dealing with all these other things, you've really got to have the space, the mindset space to say, right, boom, I'm ready. I'm really ready. And that could be a year down the line. It doesn't really matter. It really doesn't matter, you know. I think depending on how you seek Noble Goldman for you, Kirsty, or any of us, because it's maybe different things for different people. It could be what an opportunity to make shed loads of money, or an opportunity to just really learn and grow, or an opportunity to really put my mind at ease and get, know who I am. Depending on what it is, and everybody's different. You just got to pick the pieces out of it that you want, and maybe good to share that with your fellow Mastermind GoldStar members, so that they know what bits you want. There's 4 or 5 bits, but that bit and that bit, they're really important. That bit and that bit, well, they're important, but and then that bit and that bit, like now they could just be pushed to the side, so that we know better how to support you effectively, and just taking the little steps forward that you need to take, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there's a lot. I think that, and I shared this morning on the call of Noble Goldman, that we're in a very powerful place where we're right in at the beginning. Well, I shared it yesterday on the GoldStar call as well, didn't we? So right in the beginning, and I was going to create an intro video, and I just feel like something's telling me hold back, get everything ready, because you want to really show part of the platform, especially the way that it looks in that little 11-minute video I showed today around cash flow, and he showed a little bit of it. The whole energy of the platform with what he's showing is just shifted to another higher level of vibration. So I'm really excited about what that's going to bring. But and every time you jump on, it's exactly like you said, Kirsty. I've not walked away from Enagic, but I just see as Enagic being a very powerful business model in Noble Goldman. So I'm like, well, that's my long-term vision. Let me focus now on Noble Goldman and building the masterminds and doing those things that, when people, it's that same thing as in, well, I'll be happy when I get this. Well, I'm happy right now on these calls. I'm happy being on the masterminds and plugging into people, asking questions and like having conversations with new people and finding out what their goals are, and then seeing how I can tie that into Noble Goldman rather than just trying to sell a water machine. So, and it's obviously not that I'm still not out there doing the water, but I'm like, well, what is giving me the most value right now? I'm getting the most value from being around Noble Goldman and everyone in there and building those relationships and connections and learning from people, and just, even what Mark Santos, Ricky and I mentioned this yesterday, and I mentioned it to Mark today on the call about the guy who was just trying to spam. He was just spamming and trying to get people to follow him and so on. And then I said to Mark, I admire the way that I'm actually envious of the way that you controlled that and shifted it around. And then he said, I didn't even realize. If I had seen it, I'd have removed him. Let me know, and I'll make you a moderator next time to remove people that are doing that. But just, it had to happen for a reason, for whether anybody else noticed it. I know you saw him, Ricky, and noticed it, but it's like, I saw that, and that in that moment, I grew greatly and learned, hang on a minute, use what this guy's showing in the platform, bring him in from a different angle. I mean, I'm not going to connect with him. I've got no interest, and I think someone invited him anyway. But look at how he harnessed that energy. That's what he did. He actually took that energy and was like, let me bring it into here and show you what we can create with it. But if you choose to take, you will automatically be pushed out because you're not going to receive anything because the universe knows the way that we're working here. Does this make sense? So I was amazed, and just being around that. Sorry, Kirsty.
No, but it just seems to, you know, like I agree with you in the sense that if I understood right, you know, that it just, Noble Goldman seems to provide what we need at that point in time. I know that when I was introduced to it, you know, like godsend in a sense, because like my little home business is cultured in the raw, which is about healing naturally and, you know, or staying healthy. And that's not about just food. It's not just about water. It's about mindset, which is such a huge part of it, you know, but I don't want to be running around, you know, offering, you know, personal development courses and self-esteem courses and assertive training and the rest of it, you know. Noble Goldman, like Ricky didn't even know, but he told me about Dolphin World, and then he told me about, you know, that other group. What is the one on Tuesday evening? The one that we.
Oh, with Declan.
Declan, yes, Declan, and that kind of stuff, you know, the Dolphin World is what a lot of people out there don't have those skills, you know. When I was with Queensland Health, you know, all those years, you know, 20 years or whatever, I coordinated the alcohol, tobacco and other drug service, and I worked with mental health. And, you know, it was pill after pill after pill, prescription after prescription, you know, people's happiness from a tablet, you know, and it don't work like that, you know, and people have to learn how to live. And that's a part of like healing naturally, you know, staying healthy and heal about the mind, developing the mind. So, you know, it gives me, for my little business one day, you know, it gives me that add-on that I need badly for that. But meanwhile, I need to build me. I need to learn how to do these, set up the little groups and to be a leader again. I've lost a lot of it myself. I lost a lot of confidence along the way. So it's funny, you know, because it's providing me so many different things from different angles.
Mm. Yeah.
And when I need it, the timing seems to be right.
Absolutely. I've Mark shared. Has everybody got their A4 piece of paper?
Yep.
Yep. Cool. Mark shared a video, a link to a video this morning. I don't know if you watched it, Kirsty, around how to attract the perfect person into your life, or specific person into your life, rather. So I watched it, and what he was talking around is when we're going to the mastermind groups to go and start connecting with people, we need to be clear on who we want to find out of all those people.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's obviously a lot of people that we could easily have a judgment of, oh, these aren't going to be any good. So we're looking for those that stand out as hardcore people. So I'm going to give you, you don't need to write anything down, but what I will say to you is draw a circle right in the middle of the page, probably is about 5 centimeters in diameter. So we all got our circle? Perfecto mundo. And in that circle, write, my perfect teammate. Right, okay. Now then, what I'd advise you do is draw lines like that through the circle, but ideally not over my perfect teammate. So just lines off it, because you're going to write words down. Words along those lines.
Like 8 lines coming off it, Martin?
Yeah, I reckon 8 lines will be enough. This is just like a quick trial run thing through. You'll be able to go away and have a good think around this and perfect it. But I'll share a video with you now, and you can let me just screen share, and just let me know if you can hear this okay with a thumbs up.
Hello there and welcome. I'm Bob Proctor. I've done seminars all over the world for a long, long time. But a little over 10 years ago, when The Secret hit the street, almost every seminar I went into, a man or a woman would come up to me and they would try and pull me off to the side. It was like they wanted to talk to me, but they didn't want anybody to hear them. And they'd say, the law of attraction, does that work for people? I knew exactly where they were going. They said, what do you mean? Well, could I attract a person into my life? I said, absolutely, absolutely. So I thought there's a lot of people want to know this, and this actually is the way it works. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to put a visual here, and take a look here for a moment. This is how you attract the person you want into your life. Now you take a sheet of paper or a card, and you put a circle on it. And in that circle, you write my man or my woman, whichever it is you want to attract. And then you take and you put sort of a starburst on it with a bunch of lines coming up. And then you start to fill in. And here you want the kind of person you want, the qualities that you want to have. And the first thing you want that person to be free, because if they're not, you're not going to be. And as well as that, you also want the person to be happy. Who wants to be with a sad face all the time? Now, this seems preposterous to some people, but if you understand the law, understand that we're all an expression of exactly the same power, and this power operates by law. Vibration is one of the laws. Now, vibration is the primary law, attraction is the secondary. You can only attract to you what you're in harmonious vibration with. You want to attract a kind person. You want somebody that's kind. And you will find that you can live a pretty good life with some of these qualities. You want somebody that's caring. Now you think of all these things, you think of, what do I want the person to be like? Well, you want them to have these qualities. Understand this, you do not put a face on the person. Oh, I know you got your eye on somebody. You have no right to mess with their mind, and that's what you would be doing. You'd be transmitting images to them. Now, you just send this to the universe. Now, I'm going to tell you what will happen before we're finished here. You got to go back and you keep thinking of the qualities. You want them to be in good health. You want a healthy person. You want somebody that's vibrant, alive, you know. You want somebody that has a good appearance. Somebody that has a good appearance, looks sharp, you know. You also want a person that's financially independent. You don't have to keep this person. You want somebody that's financially independent. And then, you know, there's no hang-ups about money. You want somebody that's into personal growth. If you're into personal growth, you certainly want them to be. Now, remember what I said, you do not put a face on this person, because then you're messing with their mind and you don't have a right to do that. You start to see yourself with this person. Now, if there's not enough there, you put some more lines up. You just set some more lines and you start to fill them in. And you think, just keep adding the qualities, everything you want this person to have. And then mentally, you start to live with this person. Don't tell anybody you're doing it. You go for a walk with them. You talk to them. You have dinner with them. And you mentally carry on a conversation with this imaginary person. Now, what are you doing? When you're thinking of a person with all these qualities and you see that in your mind, you're putting yourself in that vibration. And you keep doing this, and you do it on a regular basis, and understand the universe is going to send to you exactly what you're in harmony with. If you're attracting what you don't want, you better take a look at you, because you're the only person you can change. You can never change another person. In fact, when you really start to understand how difficult it is to change yourself, you don't even want to try and change another person. Now, you do this, you make love to this person, you go for a walk, you have dinner with them. Everything that you would be doing, you do with this individual. And you're going to find that that person goes, boom, walk right into your life. Try it. You'll like it.
It's pretty powerful, eh? So did you all write down what he said? I wrote them down knowing that I'm gonna, like he says, you can draw more lines off and so on. But it's a good start. So who started thinking about somebody? Did anybody like think of somebody and they're like, ooh? Yeah, Ricky? Yeah. You're on mute, mate.
I was going to say you for a kickoff. Yeah, it's hard to find when you start writing down, and a lot of the things are relating around core values, you know, and you look at the core values, of which there are, I don't know, 200 of them, and there's you could choose that kind of person or select that person from all those core values. Finding that person that ticks all these core values that you ideally, one, would like to have yourself, and two, would like to have in other people, is extremely hard. Extremely hard. I mean, because let's be honest about it, none of us have got all the values. It's impossible. We don't have all the talents and all the skill sets and all the personal traits and attributes. So we've got our own issues, if you like. But at the same time, I think you've got to be selective, really, as selective as you can. And when it's come to the people that I have invited, and I haven't invited that many, but the people that I've invited to look at Noble Goldman and look at taking it serious has been a small group of people. And it's been deliberate. I haven't just went fishing in the big deep ocean and said, right, oh, caught fish in, because I saw it as a two-way thing. I saw not only will that person, I believe, get huge value from it, but they will give huge value to it. And it's a two-way street. So that's, and I see the same in a business partner. They have to bring something to the table in that business, in the relationship with me, as well as be able to get out of it. And one of the things I found is lacking in a lot of people is, and it's a thing I've written down here, is reliability and dependability. People are there, boom. When you make an arrangement to do something, or say you're going to do something, they are just there. And I don't know what it is, but so many people are so just not dependable, you know? And when you find someone like that, you've really got to make a decision, say, well, you know what? If it means such a lot to you as a person, and that's the way that you are or believe you are, then you've got to put a big cross against that person, because quite frankly, it's going to be hard work. You cannot go into a lifetime partnership with a person that you know might be there for you, depending on the weather, depending on this, depending on that. They'll give you excuses. Nah, sorry. And I know a lot of people, and I've given them loads of chances. But yeah, and because you think, yeah, it's a good person, you know, good, kind-hearted person, maybe, and you give them too many chances, and then you just got to decide, no. So be selective, eh? You've got to be selective, I think.
So what other attributes or values do we think could be added to the list, or what would you be looking for, anyone?
I should stay back and let Martina go first if she wants to. Okay. Bob Proctor was talking about appearance, you know, that they need to look right. I don't agree with that. I really don't agree with that. I work with Disability Services Queensland, as well as drug and alcohol, for many years. I met so many people who had limbs missing, who had cerebral palsy, they couldn't walk properly, but they're amazing people. You know, they were so talented, so gifted. You know, we're more than our body. We're much more than our body, you know. And so I really disagree with that. It's more about who you are, the person you are, what qualities you bring, you know, and preferably not someone who's ego-driven. You know, materials aren't that important, really. It's about who you are, what kind of a person you are, and, you know, having the right kind of values, honesty, commitment, reliability, dependability, like Ricky said then, but even much deeper than that, you know. Those things were very important to me. Now, when I first decided to follow Martin into the group from where we were before with his training, and to follow him over to Freedom Era and stuff like that, I said to Ricky, I said, I'm coming, basically, because Martin, when you spoke, with your training and with your presentations, you had a passion, you had a commitment, you were determined to stick to the compliance issues, irrespective of whether it brought in wealth or extra wealth, and you wanted to do things by the book, and that really stood out for me. All of that honesty kind of stuff, that's really, really important to me. Yeah, so that's why I kind of tagged along, because you resonated that, you showed that when you talked, if you could understand what I'm trying to say. And those kind of basic things like honesty, all those basic principles, they're really important. They're more important to me than the money. And that financially independent, Bob Proctor said, well, that's not even important to me, because that's what this is about. It's about helping people to be financially free, helping them to grow yourself, and helping them to grow, to be independent and find financial freedom. But not necessarily is finance an issue for everybody. There's different types of freedom. It's like you said, Martin, about traveling around Australia, putting your car in the dirt, and being able to experience the bush. Freedom to its truest sense. And it doesn't necessarily incorporate money type of thing. Money's nice, but yeah, that's what's important to me.
Yeah, great share, Kirsty. Martina?
Yeah, I think, I agree with Kirsty and Ricky. I guess going back when I started in network marketing, I just tried to sign up everyone. I wasn't selective. And it was a great lesson for me because, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months in, and I was carrying these people, and I was almost doing the work for them because I wanted them to succeed more than they wanted to succeed for themselves. So it was a great eye-opener. So the number one thing that I have on my selection process now is, does the person have a desire to change their life? Because without that desire, you're going nowhere. It's the desire that's going to give you the commitment. It's desire that's going to give you, it will allow them to be coachable. It's the desire that's going to make them achieve. And the second biggest one for me is, I guess, somebody who's personable, somebody who likes chatting to people, who's willing to just be themselves and, not be egoistic, I suppose. Just, nice, happy, kind person with a sense of humour.
Nice shares.
I have to always say as well, I never thought about doing this for my work, but I can tell you that this works because 20 years ago, I came across a system called the realization system, which is a mindset training, and it's all about attracting what you want into your life, not what you have here. And I started practicing that, and within 6 months of practicing these techniques, and one of the things was, I wanted a partner in life that would be this, and this. And within 6 months, I was with Alan. And Alan ticks all of those boxes and more. So this stuff really does work.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Martina. It's powerful. So many stories of that, of manifesting the person into our lives, or manifesting whatever it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it earlier on today, and I was like, okay, this is really, really cool. This, I'm going to, we'll put this on the GoldStar call, and I'm going to drop it into the group as well, because and it's going to go into the group on Monday. So by then I'll be like, filled out this properly and taking a picture and be clear. But I was implementing it. I was thinking about it before I started going through some of the people requesting to join. And it was funny how some people really jumped out at me. And when I went and hovered over the profile, they looked like from a judgment angle, they certainly look like they're thinking positively, and they're doing the posts, and there's some of the things that they're commenting. So they weren't just like posting a quote, what they were actually saying above it as to why they had posted it, what they had received from it. I was like, wow, this is cool. So going through and liking, and I've just actually had 2 people join as free members of Noble Goldman just for having a chat with them. So you look and go, but I slowed down. Instead of, I think I said this morning or yesterday that I was just testing the water and seeing if I just went straight for the jugular, and hey, I'm a moderator, cool, yeah, you want to know, this is it, go and just click on the link and go and register. Actually going through a process of asking a few more questions. I've got some great conversations going, and I get to a point and it's very clear, and then here's the link, and then it goes in. I mean, I can show you one if you want me to. Yeah, I'll show you an example of one then. I know we've got Leslie's call, so I'll be quick with this. So where are we? Look at that handsome chap. So where's one of them? So this guy here was just earlier on. So I added him to the Rich Dad Poor Dad group. So I'll read it out. Welcome to the Rich Dad Poor Dad group. I am the moderator that just approved your request to join the group, and I am messaging you to help you connect with one of our live mastermind teams. It's always tremendous to connect with like-minded people who value their own personal growth as well as adding value to others. Have you attended our mastermind introduction call yet? To your freedom, Martin. Hi, Martin. Glad to hear from you. I'm looking forward to learn as much as I can. Let me know how we proceed from here. Which is a good response, not like a no. All good, Sam. As a moderator of the group, it's my job to help you get started and get connected with the live mastermind team. This is your opportunity to connect with other like-minded people who are all striving forward to make the difference in their own lives as well as the lives of others. There are different masterminds live at different times across the world. What country do you live in, and do you know the time zone so that I can get the right times for the masterminds for you? And he's in Malawi. So basically what I did is I have all the times of the free introduction calls and then the 2 YDS calls. So I basically went through and changed the times to suit him to keep it simple. So I just said, which number suits you? 3 works best for me. All good, Sam. I'll get you booked in for the introductory call. So I've made it sound like I'm actually going to book him in and get that spot. To the masterminds, all you need to do is make a note in your calendar to attend at the time stated below. So I reminded him that's the time, that's the link. So he doesn't go and just click it now and sit there waiting. And then now I start the conversation. What are your goals for this year? And he's like, I'm trying to build an organization that seeks support for the very poor with legal, support the very poor with legal advice. In my country, legal costs are very high, and the large population cannot afford them. This has led a good number of people to be in prison simply because they do not understand the law itself. On another hand, I'm trying to grow a retail shop. It is situated in a low-income area, but high density. Thanks for sharing, Sam. This is powerful from the angle of your vision to help others move forward with their lives. Do you have people around you to help you both mentally and financially? The financial part, there is one financer who is willing to commit to a few dollars to start the project. I'm still talking to some more people. Mentoring-wise, there are very few people that I get to mentorship from, so I learn a lot from the books and audios of different people across the globe. Do you see how my questions are opening him up to find out how I can introduce Noble Goldman? So well done for choosing to think outside the box and learn from the minds of other people in the form of the books and audios. I can relate, as that's how I have helped myself grow, and it's all down to us as individuals to show up and do the work. This is why I love the mastermind principles. So now I'm tying it back in after acknowledging it. of people coming together and accessing the wealth of knowledge we have through life and business experience to empower others towards their goals and vision. I believe from a mentoring angle, you are going to thoroughly enjoy being part of the mastermind groups. Do you perform gratitude? So I already know that he's interested there. So then I'm like, well, I wonder if he does gratitude. Gratitude, no, please enlighten me. So I tell him what gratitude is, and I give him an example. And I said, I am grateful I have connected with Sam to help him achieve his vision, and therefore together we have impacted many lives. So now he's seeing the power of, wow, the power of the connection. Does this make sense? It does make a lot of sense. Thank you for your explanation. And I was like, you're very welcome. I believe you'll find a lot of value from being a member of NG. It's free to join, and the people you'll be connected to through this community will help you, brother. Here's my link. And he goes and joins. Great action, well done, great action. Would you like to join a private group? So I'm constantly asking him for the questions, and he's like, yes, 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 yes. So he went and joined as a free member. But I found out what he wants and then tied Noble Goldman back into the value for him. And it didn't actually take that long, because a lot of those initial messages, I have them in a doc. So I just literally go and copy, paste, change the times, bang, 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 bang. And then when the conversation starts, 10 minutes max, but he's in Noble Goldman. So,
Brilliant, Martin. Well done, buddy. That was great. Well done, mate.
But it's just going through that process. So I am conscious of the time, guys. So I do want to thank you thank us all, including myself. Thank us all for the great shares we've had there. And I look forward to seeing you post.
That was excellent what you showed us then. It'll take me a while to be able to do that. That was excellent.
Thank you. I will go through it a lot slower and explain, and we'll do some examples. So I can't think of
Martin, I think it's good to spend a lot of time on that, because moving forward, where we're all, well, certainly most of us are looking to build teams, I think it's so critical that we get that communication with these new people in these various groups right. So moving forward on future masterminds, because we tend to skip over a lot of things and talk about stuff over here and stuff over here, but that's really important stuff that I'd spend a fair bit of time on that. And it's, for new people coming in as well, because they want to have a clue about this, and if we keep skipping these things, we're not really communicating properly with these people and getting the best out of the whole thing, but also giving them the best opportunity to know what we're all about. So
yeah, I think I've missed some section, and I need to go back and find out, but I'm conscious of the time, so I'll just quickly say this in 30 seconds. I think I've missed a section where, is there like an accountability group, or is that just the Noble Goldman group?
There's the 90-day impact group, which that one. Yeah, so that's where all the files are.
Okay, yeah, I have missed that. And I can't seem to, when I go in on the training, and I press the 90-day accountability group, the Facebook icon, it doesn't go anywhere.
No, it's 90 days to success account. If you type it in and a request to join, 90 days to success NG, it'll come up. You'll be able to, if you request to join, I can add you. So, or Ricky can, or Kirsty can. And in there, but I dropped the document for a moderator into the YDS group chat as well.
Yeah, I've got that, and I've started working through that. But I was thinking, okay, where's this? So that fills that gap for me.
Yeah.
Well, I think you've already been invited into that, because I've just typed your name and it's kind of greyed out. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, because Cheryl said that she invited me in, but I still haven't seen anything for it. But
well, maybe you've been invited, but somebody needs to accept it. Martin, does someone need to accept them, or does somebody?
We have to accept. We have to accept the request to join. But I can go and have a look and see if you're there and accept you.
Please check if I'm there.
See if you're there, Kirsty. Yeah. Oh, hang on a minute. No, I'm not. I've not been made a moderator of this group. So it's
Just message Mark.
You maybe have to message Mark or Christo, because Mark said on the call this morning that he's got Christo doing admin stuff because he's just getting smashed.
Yeah.
So
well, that's what Mark should be doing now. He's got Edith there as well, who's really been there since day one, and then Lloyd's obviously a strong advocate, so you should be sharing the load, and I think that's what we've all got to do, is try and take a wee bit of the load each moving forward, you know. And Martin, you need to take some bloody time off, mate. I'm telling you, okay?
Thanks, mate. I've just added you, Kirsty, and Martina, you were already added, so they've just got to approve you. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great. That makes sense now. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for your time, everyone in the value,
Guys,
and I'll speak to you very soon.
See you on the next call.
Yes, see you next call.